Oh my goodness, folks. This is day 9 here, casting the grand final of the grand final of the in-house Blizzard 1v1 tournament. This is all down to this final game. dayvie in the bottom right as the purple Zerg against GnoME as the red Protoss. Whoever wins this match will be the North American Blizzard office champion and the biggest baller in the world. Already we have seen perhaps some of the sickest games that have ever gone down in the history of this game. GnoME came out of the gate to a little bit of a slow start with the game designer dayvie just unleashing a whole bucket of pain from Terran onto the little Zerg pieces of GnoME. But of course GnoME seems to be getting better and better over time, or in other words, seems to be spawning Zerg less and less over time. Zing! But either way, it looks like dayvie is feeling very comfortable as Zerg in a cross-map position against GnoME. This is Shakura's Plateau, one of Zerg's favorite maps for really a couple of simple reasons. One, you always spawn cross positions. That's right. With dayvie spawning in the bottom right, there is a 0% chance of the Protoss spawning here. So that means Zerg has plenty of time to set up this little neat little expansion. Second big reason Zergs love it, look at that narrow choke. You can just block a whole bunch of spine crawlers there and completely cover your main and natural. You even have this back door where you can put a nose onto this little happy face of geysers and minerals. And it looks like GnoME is not even opting to do any sort of early expand at all. Protosses generally respond to the fact that Zergs love this map by walling off themselves and early expanding. But it looks like dayvie just going to be planting the hatch. He's scouted his opponent, so he knows that there's no big scary rush coming. He sees the gas geyser is down, so that is a 0% chance of some sort of early proxy or big zealot swing. But it looks like GnoME defying every rule of StarCraft 2 and just building a zealot, rallying it cross-map, not mining gas. dayvie seems to have taken note of this, thrown down his own spawning pool. We see the gas guys are going down for dayvie. Very, very common play at this point. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Generally, you see players throw down very early Zergling speed, but lately players have been favoring the faster layer plus roach play, where they get roaches with speed and burrow, and GnoME is just doing his own thing. He went for gateway and then he built a gas geyser and said, I'm not going to use a gas geyser, and he just immediately is building a second gateway and doing a cross-map zealot push. And it looks like dayvie's spawning pool is just now finished, so he's going to invest in that queen. We see 2 Zerglings coming up right now, but might not actually be in time. Looks like dayvie is pulling back. He's going to go ahead and invest in a spine crawler to do a little bit of frontal base defense, but is he going to actually pick that off? It looks like he does force a cancel, picks off one drone. This should not actually work. dayvie should just retreat and wait for his Zerglings to finish, and then he can pop down and pick off this probe and this zealot. So now it looks like the probe is going to fall, and this one lone zealot is just Zergling fodder. They're marching up, and look at that nice micro by dayvie, trying to pull back those weakened lings. But GnoME, doing a little bit of re-micro himself. Now advancing forward with that second zealot, but again, that's 2 sacrificial zealots. And an expansion going down for GnoME. Very, very interesting play. Curious as to whether or not it's going to be effective. Generally, players don't do this sort of thing. But GnoME seems to be quite comfortable now. He's chrono boosting 2 zealots, getting his cybernetics core up, getting a 3rd gateway. We go back to Zerg's main to see that he has not even begun getting Zergling speed. We see no layer, and only 1 queen is out on the field right now. So it looks like these Zerglings are going to have to do a little bit of damage, but GnoME is looking a little bit more prepared than usual. So these Zerglings from dayvie are going to begin wailing away at that Nexus, but oh no! Is he actually going to let him up into the main? No, looks like dayvie just wants to do ring around the rosy. He just wants to do a little bit of damage, slowly picking away. 2 more Zealots popping out right now. There's the Chrono Boost on the Stalker, but uh-oh, getting Pylon blocked. Probes and Pylons, GnoME. Probes and Pylons, man, that is the key to success in life and occasionally in StarCraft 2. Layer going down right now for dayvie. We do see that second queen is getting produced, so that means that dayvie can pull the original queen back to the main and begin contributing larva there. Probes being transferred to the natural expansion. 3 gateways coming up for GnoME. Second gas guys are finished. The usual curse of StarCraft 2, not realizing that you have 2 in the gas. We do see that that 1 drone from dayvie is still alive and still scouting healthily. A little bit of supply block again from GnoME, really getting in the way, going up to 5 warp gates. It looks like GnoME realized he was supply blocked and just decided to build way more gateways than necessary. Oh, a 6 warp gate push. This is such a popular strategy for Protoss. You get 38 probes, 16 at each base mining minerals, and 3 in each geyser. And you will note that 16 plus 16 plus 6 is oftentimes 38. So GnoME will do nothing but make gateway units, and it looks like that warp gate is now finished. He can begin producing a lot of those sentries, and it looks like it's going to be just in time, because dayvie is going to try to swing in for an all-in Zergling play, and there are a lot of Zerglings moving in to the mineral side, and Zerglings now moving into the main. Can he get a force field down in time? No! And it looks like the Zerglings march directly up into the north, but wow, they ended up pulling back pretty quickly, realizing there are a lot of gateways out right now. Going to be pretty risky. He can come up here and do a little bit of damage, but he needs to be careful. And it looks like this is going to have to be a very nice split by GnoME if he wants to stay alive, as Zerglings are harassing at both sides at the same time. He's going to try to go up into the main, and it's a beautiful trap, getting most of the Zerglings. Zerglings in the main also getting disorganized and picked off. Only Zealots and Sentries out right now for GnoME. He has finally managed to defend his main. The Zerglings are all falling apart. Now dayvie is doing a very common strategy on this map, getting a Spire, so that way he can go Mass Mutalisk and Spinecrawler at the front and just expand a ton. But dayvie, interestingly enough, just seems to not want to go to the late game. He's making a ton of Zerglings. Looks like he's just going to go for a huge all-in. Perhaps he could even go for a counterattack. I mean, GnoME does not have that many units out right now. Should probably get a few more Stalkers into this force, but he's probably feeling a little bit more concerned about his economy. So he will want to get the cheaper Sentries and Zealots out. Oh no, GnoME not realizing that half his units are just doing their own thing, and more Zerglings from dayvie are going to try to run into the main. Oh, they get blocked by pylons. Oh no! Oh my gosh, dayvie runs into a total surprise. The complete pylon block off in the main for GnoME. GnoME actually looking quite rich at this point in time. Investing in a couple of Stalkers, getting more and more gas geysers, going for the Twilight Council. Ordinarily that's a blink play, but GnoME could very well be going for a mass Zealot with leg speed, considering how many Zealots he has out on the field, even leaving a few behind. Now dayvie just now finished a Spire, but really has not had these geysers mining for very long, so that means he is low on gas. dayvie continuing to go for the counterattack, but GnoME continues to re-wall off key portions of his main while telling all his probes to just stop mining and take a little bit of a break. More Zealots getting warped in as well. Really needs to send those guys back to mining, but this is a big push. dayvie's getting a lot of trouble. Oh, there's 5 Mutals that have only just now been started, and the now little camel heads of dayvie, the Spinecrawlers, are trying to do as much defense as they can, but he's trying to do some transfuses to keep the Spinecrawler alive. There's another transfuse, but these Spinecrawlers look like they're falling really, really quickly. Oh, dayvie, who was making so many Zerglings, going for the all-in. There's the block, and there are the Mutals popping out right now. There's almost no anti-air, but that is a lot of Zealots. They're ripping through these drones. The drones cannot run away. They are getting completely surrounded. The Stalkers are now falling, and it looks like all the Zealots are tearing through everything. dayvie, one of the top random players on the entire StarCraft 2 ladder server, and a balance designer for StarCraft 2, losing to just some guy who works at Blizzard named GnoME. GnoME now ripping through the hatch falls. The main is vulnerable. dayvie is actually not mining at all. Some Stalkers trying to advance. Blink being researched. Oh my god, dayvie is in a lot of trouble. We see all of the Mutalists darting around, picking off tons of Zealots. But will it be enough? The Stalkers are now in a full-out retreat. dayvie, did he lose the Spire? No, he has the Spire up at least. dayvie's going to have to do some amazing damage, but keep in mind this main is walled off, so GnoME's going to be building cannons back there to support, and once that blink's finished, he's going to be able to maintain a little bit more aggression or even pull back to defend. So it does look like we see all these Mutals trying to find some opportunity to go back and be aggressive. There's that one Mutalist now rallied there. Drone trying to get in position to take an Expo. It looks like dayvie's going to try to get in here, but will the cannons finish in time? They do finish in time. So this means that dayvie's going to have to target fire and commit a lot of resources to the kill. But uh-oh, here comes GnoME with a bunch of Blink Stalkers. He's moving into the right side. Will he manage to get any? No, he doesn't quite manage to pick off any of the Mutalisks. But dayvie really wants to commit to kill off that Forge, but it's going to be a risky move. I don't know if he realizes that that Blink upgrade is done. And whoa, GnoME doesn't even care. He is just going for it. And now dayvie is beginning to work through all of these warp gates, thinking that he can maybe shut down the production of his opponent. What he doesn't realize is the fact that his opponent is moving forward with a giant army through the center of the map. Does he see it? Yes, he sees the whole force advancing forward. He's just trying to pick off anything he can, trying to supply block his opponent. But there come in all the Stalkers. There's the cancel. There's the emergency spine crawler fun getting thrown up right now. He's just going to try to continue to pick off pylons, try to supply block his opponent. There's nothing here he can really pick off. Going to try to go for this cannon. But uh-oh, it looks like GnoME is moving in for the kill. GnoME can't believe it. There's the blink in the good game. Oh, GnoME being the balance designer. GnoME, the official best player in the entire office of Blizzard's North American division. Huge congratulations to GnoME, and extra props for dayvie for just being an all-around good player anyways. That was an epic series. I'm Day9. Hope you enjoyed the little Christmas treat. I will see you when I return home from my break. What an amazing series. Congratulations to GnoME again. Peace out, everyone, and ta-ta.